Hey guys, I just wanted to make a little pre-podcast announcement because we forgot to say it during the podcast. But happy Halloween, everybody. We just kind of got rolling as soon as we left as soon as we started the podcast, so we just never really referenced it. Hunter said he knew the whole time and was going to bring it up, and he didn't. So make sure you guys all boo him in the comments. But yeah, guys, happy Halloween. Have a spooky night. Hello and welcome to another episode of That Pop Culture Pod. We didn't even discuss who was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. Joining me today are two beautiful, handsome boys, Hunter Crate and Ryan Adder. How are you guys doing today?
Honestly, much better now that you've called me beautiful. I'm completely flustered. Cheeks beat red. I don't
Which
even
cheeks?
know how to react. All four.
That's crazy.
We're starting off strong and hard.
Whoa!
Well, me and Ryan went on like a 40-minute tirade about honey packs yesterday, so it's kind of fitting.
Oh my god.
Like trying out different ones, or what?
So it all stemmed from the
I was
context
thinking
is that
beating
there's
each other.
Okay.
I started off the conversation with, because there's this TikTok that I'm obsessed with, and it's just this licensed pharmacist that like that'll just try like random pills, like the rhino boner pills, or like honey packs, and he goes and takes like he's just like, hey, how's it going? I'm a licensed pharmacist. I'm going to be trying this out and like reviewing it. And he goes and takes like the honey pack, and then it cuts to like it says like 2 hours later, and he's like, well, I've been sitting here reading my book about God, and nothing's really happening. And I'm like, that's absolutely crazy that you took a sex related thing and then decided to read about Christianity, brother.
I mean, they go hand in hand.
He's
You're
crazy.
telling me Jesus wasn't bricked up when he was in the manger? Come on, dude.
Using his boner to flip the page.
All I'm saying is
God.
I take a honey pack before I go into work because I'll be damned if I'm not the hardest worker on the job site. You know what I'm saying, boys?
Hell yeah, brother. That's red-blooded American.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we were talking about me, him, and Jimmy watching the Cyberpunk anime together, and I was like, let's just all take honey packs and then watch 4 hours of anime. Let's fucking do it. No girls allowed. Boys only club.
No girls allowed. They can't look at us.
All right.
Yeah,
but
no,
I was gonna go into Battlefield since we're already talking about how we were
yeah,
talking yesterday.
I was about to say is that I want to go off.
Bricked up without me. Might as well talk about fucking Battlefield. Okay.
Yeah, so Hunter sadly
God
cannot
bless.
join us in the Battlefield tirades because his PC is just barely like out of range of playing.
I thought it was because he hated
be
us.
getting him. Yeah, I think that's part of it, but I think this is the main reason. I think that's like like a side major reason, like number two.
If
But
the listeners sent me their paycheck, I could buy a new PC.
I told you that I'd front you
Honestly.
like $300, $400 if you paid me back.
Oh, now I have to pay you back too. Wow, this is ridiculous.
And now for the financial portion of the podcast, a 5%
yeah.
interest rate.
So, yeah.
Do you
so,
guys think that I should agree to a 4.5% APR loan for a new PC with Ryan, knowing that part of the interest is a slap on the ass?
yeah.
Hold up. All right.
Please
You know
comment.
what, Ryan?
Please
I could
comment.
use a little bit of money if that's in the contract.
It's a slap on the ass that gets progressively worse over the years.
Over the years, $400.
How long do you think it's going to take to pay you for me to pay you back?
A slap, goat, never mind.
I'm gonna pay you
But Battlefield
$20 a
6, Hunter can't play it with us, sadly. We will be getting him in soon. I personally don't see myself stop playing it anytime soon, because I've literally been playing 2042 since like March. So I've already been on the
like
Battlefield
the most
kick.
disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Dude, I literally have like
say-
250 hours in on the game.
You say that, but as soon as I buy it, you're like, man, I'm more in a one-player mood. I don't want to play with my friends. I'm more in a one-player mood.
I have been in a one-player mood for the last while. It's been wild. It's been the game that's kicked me off of Metal Gear for right now. So
I haven't even played the
tirade.
campaign yet, but I've been having a lot of fun personally.
The campaign's like the tutorial. Think about it like that way. Everyone's like, this is a really bad campaign. But I'm like, if you've never played Battlefield before, go play the campaign. And then the campaign will show you how to fly a helicopter, a tank, all of these basic things, right? Think of it more like a tutorial, which people are not. They're just saying, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Who the fuck buys Battlefield for the campaign?
Bad Company 2 had a good campaign, but that's
Battlefield 1 as well.
been a minute. Oh yeah, the World War One, where like they went over like storylines, was really good. I liked that actually.
I didn't say if it was good or not. I'm just saying who buys the game for the campaign.
Nobody buys it for the campaign, but it's like one of like those things where like if it like doesn't have a campaign, like people are like, oh, multiplayer only game, and then it just does worse. So like you kind of have to like include the multiplayer, the campaign component. Otherwise, people are not. I don't know. You really
All
lose
I'm
out.
saying
You really
is
lose
I
out
know
on
it
a
takes
certain
place in
section
New
of people.
York, and I've been to New York, and I mean, I'd bomb it. So, anyways, so the multiplayer has been really fun. I really like it. Still not a super huge fan of the really, really, really big maps because I'm cheats. But a lot of the small scale fighting, you know, like the team deathmatch, domination, king of the hill, squad deathmatch, shit like that. Okay, cool. We're out of 5 minutes. Stuff like that. I really do enjoy it. I think it's really fun. I think it's really good. The guns are god-awful, but I think it's kind of good if they're all bad compared to when there's like one or two really good weapons. Well, I guess the shotguns are, but you know how it is. But I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of fun. I think just being able to play multiplayer games with my homies again is like pretty nice because me and Hunter play like a lot of Halo and whatnot. But other than Halo, I don't really play multiplayer games with anybody.
All right, I'm gonna go off on my Battlefield tirade real quick. So I'm gonna keep it short. I'm looking at the time. It's like 7:22. I'm not gonna go longer than like 30 seconds. EA. Yes. EA has finally done it. They have proven that if they have developers who do not like the producers, so like Apex Legends hated EA, and they said, "Stay out of our way, trust us." It was the same way for this, where the lead developer was like, "I don't like EA, but we're producing it. Stay out of my way. You can take control if not." And it has absolutely proven itself because it really does feel like Battlefield is back. The complaint about the large map, I think that these are like medium large maps, which I think solves the issue that maybe like Hunter you might be able to relate to. But Battlefield 3 and 4 maps sometimes on domination were so big that you would spawn into somewhere and then nothing's happening around you. It feels like whenever I spawn anywhere in Battlefield 6, something is going on, something's blowing up, something's loud, there's somebody pushing a point. It feels good. The guns feel good. There's one of my favorite lines called push and pee, which means push and poop. You know what that means, boys?
I don't think it is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying push and pee as in we're fucking them.
Oh, yo. Hey.
Yeah, you didn't know that? That's what I've been saying for the last few days.
I thought it was from the song Push a P by Gunna, and it's about selling Percocets. I thought that's what we were saying.
No, negative. Yeah,
I'm gonna lose my job just from the first 9 minutes of this podcast.
Battlefield 6, the guns feel good. They have heavy recoil, and you actually have to like set up to use them. The LMGs are heavy, and like really like putting it down onto like a bipod or something feels good. Game just feels good. Feels like Battlefield's back. I've been playing 2042 since like fucking February, so this feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like when I used to play Bad Company as a kid, which is like a feeling that's hard to capture. You know what I mean? Like nostalgia.
Yeah, I get that. I think maybe it's not even nostalgia as much as just there's been a long rash of super bad multiplayer games, and the fact
Yeah.
that one of them's really good, like that, it's more so just hitting something that used to get, used to be satisfied relatively often, and now it's sort of rare.
But it's just like, it's the same thing as in why I think that Helldivers is a good game, which is that you can take a screenshot at almost like any point and something cinematic is going on, right? Like bullets flying, a tank's fighting, like a helicopter or like a jet's flying over. It's just cinematic. It's just a good game to play. I'm done with my tirade. Battlefield 6 is really good. EA has finally proven that they can put out a good game. Let's see if they can keep it up within the next few months. That's going to be the true point, because don't you remember when we said that Halo Infinite was good? And then like 2 months later, it was just balls.
No.
That
Are you guys are crazy? Shut up.
That has never come out of my mouth.
Crazy.
That game is fucking garbage. It's trash.
We played the multiplayer so much, dude. The multiplayer was so good at the beginning.
The multiplayer is literally ball sack. Oh
you guys
my
like
god,
Halo 4, so you guys smoking
right
dick anyways.
They released this game with 3 maps. They released a multiplayer game with 3 maps.
Yes,
and
that's the issue. The content of it is good. That is what I mean by like.
So it's not a good game. If you make
Brother.
a multiplayer game, you have 3 medium maps, and then it's a good game. No, it's not a good game. There's only 3 maps to play on. It's boring. It's repetitive.
The gunplay of it felt good. What I am trying to compare it to is that it felt good until 2 months in, when we're just playing the same shit over and over and over and over again. Battlefield 6 is going to have the same thing, where like they have a new map coming out now, and then next month, and then guess what? What happens after that? What are they going to keep on bringing in people with? Because Halo Infinite struggled on that. They had to push back. Releasing maps like what? They really had to push P like 4 or 5 months, dude.
All right,
that's what I'm talking about. Is like Battlefield really needs to see like what content comes out after. Right,
I'm gonna
it's
give
a good
this
ass
to you.
game.
I think the point that you're making is really good, and I want to get in there. So, okay. So let me start with this. You were talking about Halo Infinite playing good. Yes, playing good. Good mechanics is important. But I would say there are games that kind of play like Dookie, or they're buggy and they're cheeks, but people still love them because there's a lot to do. There's a lot of content.
Skyrim.
New Vegas specifically, literally unplayable at times, and it's everybody's like favorite Fallout. So what I'm trying to say is, what's that?
I said Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2 also.
Borderlands 2, I wasn't really a big fan of Borderlands 1, but I think something playing good and looking pretty, especially looking pretty at this point, because games don't have to look that pretty anymore, because we have already got to a point where I think graphics are great, and we need to maybe just focus on putting out good stuff. We need to start holding these companies more accountable for the fact that they literally release games that don't really have any content. And like what you said, I'm on your side on this, by the way. I'm not attacking you. I'm agreeing with you. So what you're saying is like Halo Infinite had this problem. Played great, looked okay. But then, they really fell off because there was nothing new coming out until 3 years into the game. That's the thing about Battlefield is you're like, there's a new map coming out, and then we'll see after that. I agree with that, dude. I'm sick of how, when we were kids, games would launch with 15 multiplayer maps, multiple big maps, multiple small maps. And now, if it even drops with 7 or 8 maps, honestly, people are just like, well, at least it dropped with this much. Like, they really are beating us down to just be okay with whatever the hell they do. And I'm getting sick of it, and that's why I don't buy games. Like, Ethan was telling me that he bought the Battle Pass, and I just made fun of him for, 10 straight minutes. And he was like, what does it matter? It's only $8. And I'm like, it's the fucking point, dude. It's the point that if we keep giving these people money to do the bare minimum, the bar is only going to get lower. It'll not get any higher. That is what I kind of wanted to say. Is I agree with you. I like that you say that, and I like that you're competent of that. But I feel like in the last few years, only Hunter is the only one that's ever agreed with me. Was like, oh, well, Call of Duty dropped the 8 maps. That's kind of cool. Oh, just kidding. One of them has to go away because of copyright infringement. So it's like, you just get sick of playing the same shit over and over again. And that's how I am.
Bingo.
I play Master Chief Collection because there is 130 fucking maps in that game. 130. Yes, they're the same maps I've been playing since I was a kid, but you get rotation, you get differences. Every single time it'll be different. These fucking games, if you do 3 death matches in a row, you're going to be playing the same fucking map, and I'm so sick of that.
And also, we can talk about the fact, too, that it's not just the maps, it's the gameplay loop, because literally multiple of my favorite games have a very small amount of maps. Like, MOBAs only have 1 map, typically. As well as, like, Risk of Rain only has a handful of maps, even including the DLC that you play back and forth. It's if the gameplay loop has to be very good to overcome the low amount of maps as well. As another
agree.
Thing. And if there's varied enough gameplay, there doesn't need to be that many maps. Obviously, more maps does help and makes the game that helps diversify the gameplay further. But when you have an arena shooter game where literally all you do is run around and shoot people, the best way to diversify that is more guns and more maps. And the other issue when Halo released is they didn't even include, it's the newest Halo game, and they didn't even include most of the guns that have been iconic in the game and vehicles.
Or most of the game modes. Game modes that did not exist before Halo. Game modes that are only popular because of Halo. And they're like, yeah, fuck you. Not doing that at all.
Infection came in like 5 years later.
Yeah, and gun game and shit like that. Like, what's another big one that they didn't even have King of the Hill. They invented King of the fucking Hill, and it didn't even have it, dude. Like, but, I mean, obviously, we all know how much I hate that, and we don't want to go on a Halo tangent, because then everybody would check out. But Halo Infinite is not even really Halo as just being bad. It's just the symptom of gaming right now. And why, like Ryan says, I mean, he's been in a big single player. And you guys know me, I'm mostly a single player right now, because that was too many players. I apologize, guys. Because I'm just sick of literally spending more money on games, more money on online functions for literally less. I think Battlefield plays amazing, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. But I'm already hitting my ceiling with, I guess we'll play this fucking map again. Like, it's just so goddamn annoying, dude. And I get that they they basically make 2 or 3 big maps, and then they just break it up into smaller sections. But there's not even that many small sections for how many for how big some of these maps are. Like, it's so exhausting at this point, and I'm just so tired of it, dude. Everybody's like, well, you know, are you going to get this? Are you going to get this? No, I'm not getting it. Like, that other game just came out by Obsidian yesterday.
I'm downloading that right now.
What's the name of that game again?
Outer Worlds 2.
Outer Worlds. The first goddamn game was so fucking mid, it hurt, and it was, like, almost impossible to finish. And it's like, well, yes, I want to get it. It looks good, and I know this is a reliable developer. But it's like, it's not worth... And Hunter has said this 30 or 40 times since we started this podcast. It is not worth buying games when they come out. It's just not worth it, because you just don't know how they're going to fuck you.
And they're going to do it. You just got to figure out which way they're going to do it.
Yeah, it's true.
Exactly, dude.
True.
No honey pack either. Like, they're not even making it fun.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I just paid the $10 for Game Pass just so I could play it this month, and then I already canceled it, so...
Because I'm sure it'll be decent, but is it going to be good?
We've talked about... Well, we can keep this one short. We all know that I'm a very big Obsidian fan. I absolutely love their writing. Outer Worlds was not their best writing, and it's just because they had some different people on it. They have the main set of writer. I forgot what his name is. I follow him on Twitter, but they have the main writer back for this. And from what I've seen, the writing is a lot better, and the characters are more... I don't know. I feel like the first game was very flat in terms of characters and what was presented to you. They have a really cool system called the flaw system, where like if you do like too much of something, like you get like a flaw. Like if you crouch too much, you get bad knees. So you move faster when you crouch, but each time you like crouch or uncrouch, your knees pop, which will alert people around you.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, so I'll be playing it. I'll talk about it some other time. But I like Obsidian. Obsidian's it's one of those games where like it's you get out of it what you put in terms of like getting like out like dialogue, because their writers are so good. They write just like mini novels in it.
Well, this is my thing about that, though, and it goes back to, like, we're tying into the whole overarching theme right now. I don't even think that the first game's bad. I don't think it's even
No.
that flat. It's just, it was too long for how predictable it was. Like, it's literally just a very,
Yeah.
you figure out exactly what the entire theme of the entire game is in the first hour and a half of playing the game, and then you still have another 20 hours after that. Like, it's just, it's too long, and it was really fucking annoying. I think
Yes,
that
agreed.
they do very well. I would say that we're probably all fans of them. I just think
Mhm.
sometimes they take steps back because Outer Worlds specifically is just a Fallout clone. I don't think there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with that at all. We were talking about that Saints Row yesterday. People talk bad about it because it's a GTA clone.
Who
And
cares?
it's just like
fun.
being a clone of stuff, it does not make it bad. It's just in that general theme. Like that is just how it is. And I think that there was so much left off that they had already done in other games in the first one. This one, it seems like they're starting to get some of that inspiration back. I just don't know why people don't lean more into
Yeah.
this stuff, and then you end up with an empty ass game that people are just like, well, I know for a fact I'll never play it again. You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear I'm never playing this game again.
Mhm. Well, like, it loops back to what Hunter was talking about in terms of, like, gameplay loops. Like, if it's not a hook, why am I going to keep on coming back?
Factual.
Yeah, there's part of the issue is that the gameplay loop has to be inspired, and I feel like there's not a lot of inspiration for modern gaming. Because, like, when you have a studio and you allow them to do exactly what they want to make, and we've also talked about this before, they are going to put more passion into it when they don't have someone who's breathing down their neck that's, like, telling them, no, the game needs to be as close to this other game as possible, or, like, no,
Yeah.
you can't take any
Absolutely.
risks. And to be
And when
real,
you're bought out by Microsoft.
and to be real, like, taking risks is what makes a good game. Like, you can't.
Absolutely.
If a clone is totally fine. Like, most games are a clone or a lookalike of another game in some way. But
Absolutely.
if you have to take some risk to diversify your game from other games, it's just like, yeah, everyone plays Call of Duty or whatever for a long time. It's a big game. And it is a risk to be like, well, for Battlefield, we're going to make the maps bigger. We're going to put in vehicles, and, like, the gameplay is going to be more divisive because of these things. But also, you're making a game that's authentic to what you want it to be. You're making an authentic Battlefield game. You're not making another Call of Duty. You're not making another whatever game. Part of it is that you have to be willing to be like, this might not work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to make a game that you believe is fun. And that's one of, like, the things where, like, in terms of, like, I've talked
That
about
goes
it
for
a ton.
anything as well, not just games and
Well-
any sort of medium.
Well, games, music, any sort of medium, shareholders really decide a lot, like a lot.
For
That's
sure.
just part of, like, big business. Like, when you have shareholders,
Boo.
they want something out of it. When you have a owner, they want something out of it. So one of my favorite ones is I think I've sent you guys the audiobook a while back, but it goes over, like, game development, and I was talking about how earlier about how EA, the two games that have done well, Legends, Apex Legends, and Battlefield 6, both of the developers have gone on record being like, I dislike EA, and we told them to stay out of our way, and then look at what happened. And they straight up made a deal, like, you can make contracts that basically say, like, that, like, if I hit this sort of, like, Metacritic score, or if I hit this sort of, like, concurrent user mark, right, then we get to continue independence. So, like, Destiny 2, Destiny did that, right? So, like, they split off from Microsoft, and then they couldn't keep themselves afloat, so they went to Activision, and they made a deal that basically said, like, hey, if we do this amount of sales, then we can keep independent from you, but you guys still fund us. And they have not hit that mark, and this year they have they are now merged with Activision, and the game does not look right anymore, which sucks.
That is really annoying.
Destiny is one of those games where it's like, looking from an outside lens, it has some of the coolest content, but it has just been kneecapped over and over and over again. I don't know, did you guys ever play it?
Destiny?
Yeah. Like Destiny 1 or Destiny
I
2?
think
A lot of
everybody.
Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play like the DLC for 2 it was like the glass, it was not like the glass labyrinth, but it was like this like labyrinth for the first DLC on Mars. And good lord. It was so cool, but it's like one of those things where it's like you go back through it again and it's like, oh, maybe it's not that cool.
I think when you're younger, a lot of that stuff can seem so much more incredible than when you get older and you revisit, or people have done it better. You know what I mean? That goes back to what we were saying in general. It's just they probably did something that was incredible at the time, but then you've seen it implemented in other games, and you're like, oh, well, I've seen it better. I also think Destiny 2 is just dookie. I just
think that Destiny and Destiny 2, its story, like Destiny 1 off the rip, I really need you guys to listen to this fucking audiobook. They go over like after they left Microsoft, right? And then they proceeded to start to make Destiny, and they go over like almost everything that made them trip up and why it was like a weird game. Do you remember like did you guys ever play like the Destiny 1 beta?
I think so.
I don't think so.
They had a whole meme that spawned from it where you went and fought this final boss at the end of it, and then the ghost went inside. It's like that alien came from the moon, and fucking proceeded just to dunk on them the whole time until apparently that was such negative reception that they proceeded to like rewrite a large portion of the story, and was one of the main reasons that they cut Peter Dinklage as the ghost.
I was always wondering why they did that, because I played during the time of Dinklebot, and then they just replaced him with
a lot of people
North,
didn't,
which is also good, but I fucking love Peter Dinklage.
I'm telling you, last time I'm going to say it, I'm going to send it after this podcast, and I really think like next time you're like driving, you should listen to it, because like they go over like the developers going over some of like the shit show of Peter Dinklage and how it was really hard to get. So like it was more of like a money thing on why they cut him out, right?
Yeah, I
so,
thought
like,
I heard
Peter
that.
Dinklage. Yeah, they had spent a large money. You know, like they spent a large money on fucking Peter Dinklage, and then proceeded to realize that they did not give him any direction for his role, so he just gave him, you know, they gave the Dinklebot voice, and no one liked it. So,
well, they're just a bunch of haters.
Yeah. I mean, like, when you think about it, they left Microsoft, right? They were trying to make themselves as a company. They had no idea what they were doing other than, like, what they had done for, like, Halo 1, 2, 3, and, you know, all of them. So they kind of just, like, jumped ship and said, we can do this. And shocker, making a game is harder than that.
Well, see, that's
in
stupid.
MMO.
That doesn't seem very valid in my eyes. Because they had a bunch of marathon games, and then they had all of the Halo games. They knew how to do it. They probably just didn't want to actually have to put in all the effort
Marathon
that doesn't come with not
like,
having the
90s.
backing of a big company. Which is why they all ran right back to fucking PlayStation after they realized Destiny 2 is fucking ass.
Well, I told you why they had to go back to PlayStation, right?
No?
They signed a contract basically saying, like, hey, if we hit this Metacritic score and we hit this amount of sales, we can stay independent. They didn't do that. They have not done that for like 2-3 years. They have not met their marks. So now they are owned by somebody.
It's probably because they've been banking on the same game for fucking 10 straight years.
They've been banking on the game, and the same game just doesn't have the creative direction that it did. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into Destiny, and we can talk about other things.
Okay. So I think I told Hunter, and maybe some of you guys remember, I know we haven't been as consistent recently. Life's been insane. But I have been watching Star Trek Enterprise, and I told Hunter about how unexcited I was, and I would like to revisit that. Do you remember us talking about that, Hunter?
Yes, I do.
I remember listening to it.
Okay, so we're all on the same page here.
Yup.
It's so
Voyager,
fucking good. It's so good, dude.
I listened to it, and I thought that you were crazy, because I think that the Borg is one of the coolest... Well, like, they've had, like, hive mind ideas, you know, like, before Voyager, but I think that Voyager is a really good, like, exploration into hive mind. They
Yeah, I'm
have
not watching
I forgot.
Voyager. I'm watching Enterprise. Voyager's my
Are you watching
favorite Star Trek.
Enterprise? I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. The whole thing is that me and Hunter were basically talking about. Don't mean
Oh,
to
the
read
original?
this stuff up. No, it's the show right after Voyager takes place. It's like 3 years after Voyager.
Oh.
So this is what it is. But prerequisite. So you're on the same page as me and Hunter. I basically talked about how Voyager is my favorite Star Trek, unpopular opinion, and I was telling Hunter that I don't really like any Star Trek after that. I think it was so much different than what I thought Star Trek was that I just wasn't really a big fan of any of it. Shocker, guys, I was wrong because I never gave it a good chance. Who saw that coming? One of the most stuck-up people in the world. So, Enterprise is the very first Enterprise that set out before the Federation of Planets was even made. So, they had not encountered Klingons yet, none of that stuff, just Vulcans and humans. I remember watching it when it came out, and I was not impressed with that at all. But now I'm at the end of the first season. I think I have one more episode left. And I just want everybody to know Hunter was absolutely right by putting me in my place. It is literally amazing. It's perfect. And every single episode that Rick Berman specifically has written is literally like every other Star Trek episode in the world. It is exactly the same, and I don't know what my misconceptions of it were. I don't remember why I disliked it in the first place. But I'm honestly really enjoying it. And if you guys haven't watched it, definitely check it out. What I'm doing right now, I think me and Hunter had made a plan that I was going to watch them in chronological order. That's the plan I was doing. So I honestly think it's worth it. It's weird going back in time and watching them struggle with stuff that isn't a problem later on in the shows, but I really like it. The characters are really likable too.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I have not seen the show really that much, so maybe that will be one
same.
that I have to check out sometime soon.
I really feel like I have to check it out. I really like Star Trek. I watched all of the original one. I forgot I had to Google it, and I don't want to type because my mic is unmuted, and I sound like I'm typing on a typewriter.
Tick, 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 tick.
Literally. What was the first Star Trek? The original
series.
Yes, that is what I watched, and then I watched half of Next Generation and stopped.
So good. Next Generation is, if you're talking objectively, I think Hunter had said this as well, that it's probably the best because it has the best characters. It's got Sir Patrick Stewart, and also I think it was handling stuff so insanely progressive that the rest of the shows haven't been able to recapture a lot of the heartfelt, crazy, really forward-thinking, sort of leftist things that they were doing at the time. But, yeah, man, you should finish it up. I'd say the last few seasons are some of the best.
I'll have to. I definitely, I watched it during, COVID era, so it's been a minute. But I know Mariah, I actually have the VHSs. Mariah has all of the Star Trek movies. I don't know what they are. Do you want me to go look at them real quick?
If you want to. Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, 1 second. Hold on. They're right over there.
What are all of the shows that you've watched, Hunter? Like all of the Star Trek?
What is the Picard?
Yeah.
What is the
these
first
are
Picard series with Patrick Stewart?
You're talking about the newest one? Are you talking about the newest one?
I get a lot of the names confused. No, not the newest one. I'm talking about the older one. I've seen Next Generation. I've seen most of the original series. I've seen some of Voyager and some of Deep Space Nine. I've seen the first season of the newer Picard.
I need to watch that so bad.
I think that's most of it. I've seen some of the Orville, but not too much of it.
I am pretty excited for Strange New Worlds. People have been ranting and raving about how good that one is, and I have not watched it yet.
So I grabbed the VHS. She has like 1 through 8 of, I believe it's Enterprise that has like Spock and all of that. The one that I grabbed was Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
I cannot wait to watch that. Honestly, for being somebody with a Star Trek tattoo who's watched almost all the shows, I've never actually seen The Wrath of Khan.
Can I be honest? My first exposure to Star Trek was I think it was like the 2010s, like Star Trek movies that everyone hates.
Yeah, the Universe
it's like
B
mixed
or whatever.
reception.
Yeah.
I like them. I thought they're cool.
I wasn't a fan, personally. But let's be honest,
I
I think
think
I'm not the best judgment. I would have to rewatch them.
it's one of those things where, like, I feel like if you go in with the notion of that it is Star Trek, I have seen Star Trek, you're gonna go, what the hell? I had no idea what Star Trek was. I thought it was just a fun movie. It's kind of like did you guys ever watch the D&D movie that came out a few years ago?
Yes.
That movie's just like
Good.
good lord, dude. So underrated. That movie was so good, and they have a second one coming out. I'm so excited.
Isn't Den of Thieves technically a D&D movie as well?
Is it? I don't know.
I thought it was expanded off of that. Sorry, I didn't mean to railroad you or whatever.
No. It's all good. I was just thinking about that movie earlier this week, and I was like, dang, I really want to rewatch that, because when I watched it, I just watched it it was when I was dating my ex, and she lived in Minnesota, so I used to have to fly a lot on Delta, and they had those little mini movie things, like the tablets in front of you, and I just watched it on like one of those, just like a 8-inch screen, and I feel like it'd be really actually a better movie if I watched it on a real screen. But I had fun with it. It was such a good movie. I'm excited for them to do more, because it just felt like a really fast-paced, like, fun movie, which I feel like is hard to find right now, if that makes sense.
I get you.
I think anything D&D is a gold mine right now. They need to take advantage of it while they can.
But it's not even just like D&D. I think it was just like the pacing. Like the pacing like never really like skipped a beat. It's like you started the movie and it like hooked you like immediately, and it just kept going. Like it was like it's like John Wick 1 or 2, where it just goes, right?
So good.
And then I feel like John Wick 3 and 4 tries to build upon itself a ton in terms of like it wants to finish off its movie series, and it's too much story, and I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for a guy who kills a lot of people because his dog died. I don't necessarily care too much about the story. I just think it was a fun movie. I know a lot of people do like the story.
So
yeah, see, there you go. I know that a lot of people really like a lot of people really like the storyline of John Wick. I didn't necessarily enjoy it that much, and I honestly fell asleep at the end of John Wick 4 in the movie theaters when they were doing like the whole like super long duel.
If it was real, like to think if that was an actual thing that existed, that is what. It's the same thing as the Matrix. If you think about it arbitrarily, the Matrix storyline is fucking dumb, but it's like the idea, like, of what if this was actually reality. That is what's intriguing.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know what other movie I was thinking about, and I'm just kind of thinking about movies right now. You guys ever seen Baby Driver?
Yes.
No.
I like that one.
We'll watch Baby Driver soon. I'll come over to your house and bring.
We have an entire list of things to get to first, King.
No, we'll watch Baby Driver first. Baby Driver beats out all of those. This is to any listener, Jimmy, Mariah, anybody who I don't know.
The only two listeners we have.
Yeah. Please watch Baby Driver. The director of it does such a cool job in terms of like it's like a driving action movie, and they have a really cool way of where they choreograph what is happening in the scene to the movie. I'm sorry, what is happening in the scene to the music.
Okay.
So like it's like to beat. It's really cool. It's a fantastic movie. It's like an hour 30. Sit down and watch it. Good Lord. Anybody who's listening to this who's like, I don't know that movie, watch it.
You're gonna love it.
Take a second this week and for real. Like I it's just like we were talking about like fun movies, right? Like in like I really think of like Baby Driver is just like you can just like pick it up and watch it and just go hell yeah. Like that's a hard thing to emulate.
That is a lot of what I was saying when I was watching it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
But all right, Hunter,
yeah.
we are coming up on time. Is there anything you wanted to get to? Because we haven't been able to get a lot of, we've been cutting you off most of the time. But what do you want to close out the podcast with, King?
Oh, I want to talk about that the Avatar, The Last Airbender set is coming out in November. Which is a really big deal for all of us. I believe we're all. Juan and I are obviously huge fans. I believe Ryan is a pretty big Avatar fan as well.
Woo!
So we're super excited about that. The spoilers have been coming out a lot for the set, or they've showed off most of the set now, and it is feeling very inspired. Like they did a very good job matching abilities and what cards do to their cards, and they also captured so many of the memorable moments in a way that really encapsulates what the show is about on the cards. So I'm excited to both draft the set and build some commander decks around the Avatar cards. There's a couple of them that look very cool, particularly Wan Shitong, the owl librarian, my goat, is going to be one of my new commanders. I'm super excited. They did some of the cards. If you haven't seen them and you're a fan of Avatar or you're a Magic player, it's great to look through them just to see what these Universe Beyond sets can be like. Because to compare it, the one immediately before that was a Spider-Man set that is, you could tell was rushed and uninspired. It didn't do super hot, even though it's a Marvel IP, which is insane. That your baseline is that you just get free money because it says the word Marvel. And it still didn't do that well because you could feel that it was not as inspired. Whereas this set feels like they really went out of their way to make the fans happy and do a good job representing what Avatar is about in the card game.
It's funny that you wanted to talk about that because I've been getting a lot of TikToks about both The Last Airbender and Korra, which, unpopular opinion, Korra is absolutely amazing and I think a great follow-up.
Yeah, it's good.
I agree.
But Jess she'd seen bits and pieces of The Last Airbender, so I'm going to try to get her to watch that because I genuinely think that the last season of The Last Airbender might be some of the best American television ever made. The last few episodes alone are like some of the most incredible animated series ever drawn up, dude. I literally was watching Zuko fight his sister towards the end of the war when the comet was going, and it's just like
cry every time.
The choreography of the fight and the way that they handle the flames is just so fucking amazing, dude.
Agree. Completely agree.
Agree.
I want her to watch this show so bad.
The character arcs are just some of the best in any show, which is crazy because it's a Nickelodeon cartoon. But just watching the strife of the characters as they're dealing with real world things, and it does a good job exploring all of these deep and powerful things that are real to so many people, and tells you about how people experience it without telling you about it. They show it to you through the characters and through their development, and it never comes across as preachy or annoying ever, even as they talk about these topics that often can be almost annoying to hear about over and over again because like they matter, but the way that they're talked about often is like feels like you're being talked down to about it, and instead they're like, let me show you how these traumas affect these kids, let me show you how war affects real people, let me show you how survivor's guilt impacts someone who is like is still trying to do their best, let me show you how like societal standards and pressure of family obligations and heritage can like completely crush your life and turn you into somebody that you're not. They do such an amazing job exploring all of these lofty ideas in a way that's bite-sized and still makes you laugh and smile.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main episode I think of in terms of like emotional like resonance in how they like show it is what's the one grandpa episode where he's going it starts off with him like going around and just like walk around like the village, and then he ends up singing the song about his son who doesn't come home.
Leaves from the vine.
Yeah, I don't need to cry right now.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I think the whole theme of the whole show, basically, because every single main character kind of has to go through this, is you're not defined by your environment and the social constraints of those around you, and that if you want to grow, you really can. I mean, like you said, like Uncle Iroh was basically, up until the comic came back, the strongest firebender that ever lived, and basically attacked the strongest city that ever existed. And even he was able to come back and liberate it at the end of the war. Like, you are not defined by those around you and what most people, because a lot of people do feel chains in their lives. Like, they feel the chains holding them down for, whether it be poverty, family trauma, stuff like that. Like, a lot of people can deal with this stuff, and it's like, first of all, a show about beating the dog piss out of people in world wars, pretty insane to put on a Cartoon Network. But Cartoon Network, not Cartoon Network. But also to be able to handle, like, it doesn't matter what you're going through right now. If you want to be better, you can be better. Like, it's amazing, dude. It is so cool. Or even like how Aang is literally not supposed to hurt people, and he has to be like the penultimate fight to actually like save everybody from like the chains that have been holding them back for 100 years. Really, really interesting. It's such a good show.
Agree. I think it's time.
All right, it is time. See, look at time. Awesome, dude. All right, really quick. Michigan State playing this weekend against Washington. They're doing god-awful this year, so maybe just don't pay attention to them. And then obviously the more important aspect is the Lions are back from their bye week. They'll be going against the Vikings at 1 p.m. in Detroit. Me and Jess will be tailgating downtown. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. You handsome, beautiful boys. I appreciate spending time with you guys. Have a great day. Oh, give Hunter your paycheck.
Bye!
Hell yeah, doing your mom.
All right, I'm done.